Okay, I wanted to do a review on this little fish finder that I've seen over the years in Harbor Freight, and they still keep it on their shelves. So I thought, well, maybe it's worth taking a look at. And I'll do an open box review, and then I'm going to go out onto the water and we'll test it out on the water all in one. So it's called the Fisherman's Habit. It's a portable fish finder, and it runs on 4 AA batteries, and it's made in China. And notice the item number, and that's the one we're talking about. I bought it in about 2 weeks ago, and that would be April of 2018. Now, all of the boxes on the shelf, they had about 5 of them in there, and none of them had tape on them. They all look new, but they did not have tape on them. And you can make your own conclusions from that. But when you do open it up, which I did at the store, you got to make sure that everything is in there. First thing is you're going to see this foam, and you're going to see this cover, this one of those little shields that protects the screen. And eventually you're going to take that off. So we'll pull it apart here, and we'll take a look in the box. And here's a little bag, which you're not able to put everything in there, by the way. In other words, you can't put the float, the transducer, the cord, the neck strap, and the control head in this bag. It just won't fit. If that tells you anything about this device, and we'll go from there. But this yellow thing is the float. And this little stopper here, it kind of fits snugly against the wire, so you can adjust the depth of the transducer in the water. In other words, here's how it works. I'll just kind of show you that right off the bat. This is a transducer. Transducer feels pretty solid, and this system works. I have been out on the water with this already. And you would adjust the depth of this. And then this line here, I put it out towards the front of my pontoon. And you've got 35 feet of cable that plugs into the back of the control head. And then they gave you this little neck strap, as if you're going to hang this thing around your neck. But anyway, so that's it. I'll take a quick, we'll show you this this unit here, and these are the buttons. I would not consider this even rainproof, let alone waterproof, so make your own judgments from there. And we'll go on to the keys. When I'm out on the water, I'll go into the keys on this. But it opens like this, which is not a bad design. You would, if you're putting it on your pontoon boat, you probably put some Velcro strips here and then just set it right on the skin where you can see it pretty well. And here's strike number 1, is right there is the power button. So in other words, you're going to have to pull it up off the Velcro, turn the power off every time you do it, which is not a big deal, but the power button should be up here somewhere. And we'll go into, right now, I'm going to show you strike number 2. And this is pretty significant, I would say. You need a coin, a dime, or something. And it's very hard to tell how this thing comes off. But I've already had it off, so I have a clue as to how it works. But if you look in there, you're going to see that the slot should be straight across. And you'll be able to figure it out when you take it apart. You'll see why. But that's the slot. And then when you want to tighten it, you rotate it to the right. I would say about a little over 90 degrees. But this is how you open it. And you're going to put a coin, and a dime will actually probably work better. but it has to be perfectly flat. And I'm going to show you here that it kind of falls down like that. If you can look up under there, you'll see that if you do turn it upside down, this little thing comes out. Then you can pull it out. But the first time you do that, you'll see what I mean. It's rather awkward and stupid. And in here goes your 4 AA's, which are pretty self-explanatory, positive, negative, so forth. Okay, before I get out in the water, I wanted to show this plug and how it fits in there. It's pretty self-explanatory, I guess, but it fits into here, and you're going to see a little square piece of plastic in there that slides into. It only goes in one way, but it is a little awkward. And then you're going to screw these in like so. Not difficult. That's an okay. And I did want to show you one thing right there.
I'd like to go over the instruction manual a little bit. I looked on the internet for a PDF file that you could download if you lost this manual, and I did find a manual that is in the HTML format. I'll leave a link on my website at mrfishgadget.org or .com, and you can download it. Now, the instruction manual has 2 pages that are essential. One is the 1 page of operating instructions, and the other page is the functions and what all the icons represent. And I'd like to bring it up right now is the first 2 columns are the depth. One's 0 to 10 feet and the other's 10 to 100 feet. And the unit automatically senses the depth. And they blink all the time, so you can't turn them off. And that kind of disagrees with the instruction manual. I could find no way to turn those off, and that's the first thing that might throw you for a little loop. If you go in there and try to change your depth, then you could run into problems like I did. So anyway, but after you figure that out, then all you do is hit the menu button on the keypad and use the right and left arrows to scroll across the top, and the icon that you want to change will be blinking, and then you just hit the arrow. And all those icons are across the top are just toggles. So for example, there's a backlight that just turns on and off. There's an alarm with a sound that you just turn on and off. There's auto, and then there's a sensitivity that's either high or just off. And you'll figure it out. But one thing that's a little annoying is if you don't make your selection right away, it just defaults back and turns off. It snaps you out of the menu mode. And also, there's no pull-down menus on this now, like the instruction manual seems to want to imply. There's no pull-down menus. There's no sophisticated menu structure.